Sorry, but I love good music. You see, the presentation that we're going to have today, I'll first by introducing myself, and then we break it, the energy, and then we start the discussion, the discourse. So, I'm Victor Oltieki. I did a research proposal on the factors that lead to depressive symptoms among student nurses at Cecil McDonald College of Health and Sciences. Basically, it entails on what some of these depressive symptoms. And we can start the introduction, the background, so that we know where we're coming from. And we start by defining what is depression. Now, according to American Psychiatric Association, depression is defined as, or rather is characterized as persistent sadness, sad, empty, or irritable mood, accompanied by somatic and cognitive changes, impairing one to function significantly. Now, about 5% of people will experience depression at some stage in their lives, starting typically at the age of 20 and 50. This mental issue significantly reduces productivity in academic or work settings. So it's more of a debilitating emotional state. Literature suggests nurses often encounter a heightened level of stress, anxiety, and burnout due to dual demand to excel academically and also be competent to patient care, exhibit emotional distress leading to manifestation of depressive symptoms. Now what is the main problem here? Stress, anxiety, and burnout are prevalent among student nurses and are significantly contributors to depressive symptoms. Based on the intensive requirement of nursing career, while also trying to balance personal life responsibilities. I as the author observed increment in the number of student nurses taking sick off, leading to decrease in the academic performance, and be demoted to prior classes. Also, the clinical rotation area, a noticeable increase in the absenteeism, leading to student nurses being demoted. The other observed among classmates and friends, I also observe among classmates and friends with depressive symptoms led to developmental of maladaptive coping mechanisms, attribute to myriad of negative consequences among student nurses at Cecil McDonald College of Health and Sciences. You see, addressing these precipitating factors is crucial for promoting mental well-being for student nurses and ensuring fruition in their nursing career endeavors. So that's like the biggest problem here. So the problem, as I was saying, is that stress, anxiety, and burnout are prevalent among student nurses and are significantly contributors to depressive symptoms based on the intensive requirement of nursing career while also trying to balance personal life responsibilities. They give rise to the stress, anxiety, and the burnout. Now, I as the author observed increment in number of student nurses taking sick off, leading to decrease in the academic performance and be demoted to the prior classes. And also at the clinical rotation, a noticeable increase in the absenteeism. This led to student nurses being demoted. I also observed among classmates and friends with these depressive symptoms led to developmental of maladaptive coping mechanisms, attribute to myriad of negative consequences among student nurses at Cecil McDonald College of Health and Sciences. Addressing this, you see, addressing these precipitating factors, you see, addressing these precipitating factors is crucial for promoting a mental well-being for students and ensuring their fruition in their nursing career endeavors. So once again, I have to repeat the problem statement so you help me, you become conversant more. We are talking about the stress, anxiety and burnout are very prevalent among student nurses, and they are significant contributors to depressive symptoms. Reason why, because they are based on the requirement. Reason why, because they are based on the intensive requirement. The reason why they develop, because they are based on the intensive requirement of nursing career, while also trying to balance personal life responsibilities. You see, that's where the problem lies. I, as the author, observed an increment in the number of student nurses taking sick off. This lead to decrease in their academic performance, leading to them being demoted to the prior classes. Also, at the clinical rotation area, there was a noticeable increase in the absenteeism. This led to student nursing being demoted. Another thing I observe among classmates and friends with depressive symptoms is developmental of maladaptive coping mechanisms that led to myriad of negative consequences. Among student nurses are still knowledge of health and sciences, maybe spoiling their file, a lot of things, the myriad of things. You see, addressing these precipitating factors is crucial it's crucial for promoting mental well-being and fruition of their nursing career endeavors. Student nursing. So why even write this? What is the justification of this study? Damn. The problem of depressive symptoms among student nurses leads to significant consequences that warrant urgent attention. Depressive symptoms can have detrimental effect, as you have seen earlier, as I've said earlier, on both the individual and the health care system as a whole. In Kenya, it was found that depressive symptoms among university students were associated with decreased academic performance, were associated with decreased. In Kenya, it was found that depressive symptoms among student nurses were associated with decreased academic performance, increased absenteeism, and impaired clinical judgment. This not only affect the mental well-being and professional development of student nurses, but also has an implication for patient care quality and safety. Therefore, this is an important area of study, as it will guide medical personnel and create awareness among student nurses to be vigilant about their emotions and find better methods of regulating their emotions. So, let me reiterate what I'm trying to say here. The justification is that the problem of depressive symptoms among student nurses lead to a significant consequences that warrant that the problem of depressive symptoms among student nurses leads to a significant consequences. These are significant negative consequences, and they're negative, so to say, that warrant urgent attention. Depressive syndrome can have detrimental effects, as I've said earlier, on both the individual and the healthcare system as a whole, as I'm going to discuss how the healthcare system is affected. In Kenya, it was found that depressive symptoms were among university. In Kenya, it was found that depressive symptoms among university students were associated with decreased academic performance, increased absenteeism, and lastly, impaired clinical judgment. So this not only affect the mental well-being and professional development of student nurses, but also has an implication of the patient quality care and safety because of the impaired clinical judgment attributed to the depressive symptoms. Therefore, this is an important area of study as it will guide the medical personnel and create awareness among student nurses to be vigilant about their emotions and find better methods of regulating their emotions, other than fall into the dichotomies of adapting myriad of maladaptive negative, of adapting other than falling into the category of maladaptive coping mechanisms, which has negative consequences, which has led us to that urgent attention. So that's like the justification, significance. Now, the significance of this study is that one enhancement of student well-being. Identifying factors contributing to depressive symptoms in student nurses enables the creation of targeted interventions, supports their mental well-being, and improving academic, clinical, and overall life qualities. After the intervention, you enhance the student nurses' well-being. Second, improvement in the patient care. You see, as I said earlier, how it doesn't bring the detrimental effect does only affect not only affect the student, but also affect the healthcare system as a whole. And this is why you're going to see how the healthcare system is affected as a whole. And that's why we're saying in the significance of it, one, and a very key thing, there will also be improvement in the patient care. Mentally healthy and well-supported student nurses are better prepared to deliver compassionate and effective care. They lack impaired clinical judgment, benefiting patient outcomes and satisfaction in clinical training settings like the Nairobi Hospital. And lastly, policy institution development, the intervention and the support system. Findings and the parameters. Findings will inform institutional policies aimed at promoting mental health among student nurses, fostering a supportive environment at Cecil McDonald College of Health, and contributing to a resilient and empowered nursing workforce. Cecil McDonald College and contribute to workforce. The objective what was the main objective of the studies? To determine factors that contribute to depressive symptoms among student nurses at Cecil McDonald College of Health and Sciences. The specific objective one is to determine the prevalence, how prevalent the depressive symptoms among student nurses at Cecil McDonald of Health and Sciences. Two, to determine what are some of these student nurses related factors that lead to depressive symptoms among student nurses. Lastly, of this specific objective is to determine the training related factors that lead to depressive symptoms among student nurses. As we have seen, not only students are affected clinically, but also academically, but also clinical, and even outside clinical and academical life, in their life surroundings. Experiences. The methodology, the case study design. Study recognized at Cecil McDonald College of Health and Sciences within the Nairobi Hospital. Study population. Third-year student nurses at Cecil McDonald College of Health and Sciences. Sampling method, preferred method for positive judgmental sampling, because we are being guided by the inclusive criteria, as I'm going to discuss in the next slide. Sample size, using the formula to calculate the sample size, non-probability sampling, the sample size is 44. So the inclusion criteria, and that's where I had to go with the judgmental way of collecting data. The dear student nurses assessing acknowledge, and the reason why it's the dear, they are at their key peak in their nursing clinical career. Not only does they have pressure academically, but also clinically, and also their life endeavors. So all that has to play an elegance so that you get the reliable data. Valuable, so that you get a valid data. We get a valid data.